I listened to the whole album laying on my carpet in the living room, and with just like a candle.
Vintage tea, brand new phone, high heels on.
And my girlfriend is not a Taylor Swift fan, and she sat on the couch and kind of just watched me and was like, what is this?
But I knew you.
On July 23rd, 2020, Taylor Swift gave fans less than 24 hours notice that she was releasing her 8th album at midnight. Almost immediately after Folklore's release, LGBT fans took to Twitter to finally rest their case that Swift is leaving them queer Easter eggs in her songs.
I think when she released the title, even in just kind of the art around with it, I think everybody was like, oh my God, she's a cottagecore lesbian right now.
Like sappy, sad stuff that takes place in a forest is very like relatable to queer girls in a way that we're like, this is ours.
Betty, I won't make assumptions about.
The song that got the most attention from Swifties was Betty.
When I first listened to Betty and it was all this romantic story about her and a girl, I was like, you know, furiously texting friends being like, is this a queer song? It is, right? Like, I'm not hallucinating.
In a way, like, Betty felt like this major nod to queerness, and it felt like such a queer song. And I think all of us were kind of just losing it about that and just like, oh my God, she has verified what we thought.
This song is from a 17-year-old boy's perspective, about a girl he has a crush on. But fans wondered if James is actually a girl. The characters in the song James and Inez are also the names of Blake Lively's daughters, further proving to fans that James is a girl's name in this case.
So many songs on the album, Betty being the most like blatant example, but that are just very subtly nuanced perspectives on the gay experience as a whole. And like in 7, where she says like, we can live in the closet, I'm just like, girl.
And I think you should come live with me and we can be pirates. Then you won't have to cry or hide in the closet.
You know, Taylor has always encouraged her fans to do this sleuthing, because she does like lace her songs with little Easter eggs and hints and clues about other stuff, whether it's like about a certain person that she was dating. You know, she encourages this, like she wants fans to search through her music and find this stuff.
I promise that you'll never find another like me.
This isn't the first time fans search for clues in her music. On April 26, 2019, which was National Lesbian Visibility Day, Swift premiered the music video For Me, which had rainbow themes and featured out bisexual singer Brendan Urie. And in June, which is Pride Month, she dropped the music video for You Need to Calm Down.
'Cause shade never made anybody less gay, so
Putting herself in this community with all of these other queer people, it feels like she's crossing over from allyship into like outing herself as part of this community and telling us that she's one of us.
I think that the other thing is that everyone knows that Taylor Swift is extremely smart and powerful and this like mastermind puppeteer of like culture in a way. She's not going to release an album on Lesbian Visibility Day without that meaning something.
3rd floor on the west side, me and you.
Even before the Lover album, there was Reputation, an album that many Swifties swear is about her boyfriend Joe Alwyn. But many queer fans are convinced it's about her former best friend, Karlie Kloss.
So the Kaylor conspiracy is that Taylor Swift and her former best friend were actually secretly romantically involved. But the thing that like separates Kaylor from just any old lesbian conspiracy theory is that once you go down the rabbit hole, it's like being indoctrinated into being a Kaylor, which is like you walk through this door and you can no longer listen to her songs without being like, that must be about Karlie Kloss.
I see the moments in a crowded room. They got no idea about me and you.
Dress is another song similar to the aesthetic of the Folklore album that just like reads as so gay, you know, like like the whole concept of it, of like two, you know, friends who can't be together for some reason.
I don't want you like a best friend. Only want this just so you could take it. Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, a lot of it has been this like fall in love with your best friend, which just feels so like, come on.
Swift has indirectly addressed the rumors, telling Vogue in 2019 that she wanted to advocate for a community that she is not part of. And while listeners are free to interpret her music however they choose, Swift's place in queer fandom remains important to her fans.
Most of our lives, we didn't have queer stuff to like lionize. And so I think that like queer fans are still like in a way like so desperate to connect to something or someone that is like very like big and important and symbolic of where the culture is right now. It would still be a big deal if one of the biggest pop stars in the world came out as bi. We still want that. We still hope for that.
And you can't